Welcome again to another lesson for your IELTS test. My name is Ruth and I'm your trainer for today. This class is brought to you as a free service by Seeker. We are an immigration organization that helps people and students migrate to Australia, New Zealand, to the US, UK, Canada, and different parts of the world. So we provide free student visa extension, free expert advisors, and all the other uh, services that we have. And this class is a part of our free PT, IELTS, and NATI coaching. That is given to you. So the PT classes are conducted every day from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock Canberra time, and the PT IELTS classes are conducted 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock every day from Monday to Friday Canberra time. And today we're going to look at task 1 of our writing module. So the IELTS task 1 for the general training test takers are different to the academic test takers, because the academic task 1 is usually a description of a very scientific image. So let's start off with this. I'm so sorry about that, and thanks very much for that.
That's fine.
Okay, so let's start off without wasting time. So it's different that we know that the IELTS writing is different for both of us, both of the general training test takers and the academic test takers, whereas task 2 is the same. So today we're going to look at task 1 for the general training tests. We're going to see how to write a letter. So before that, we need to look at the band descriptors, or which tells us how to get our band 7 and above. Let me lead you to it. Okay, so this is the task 1 band descriptors, which is a public version. So for the examiners, there's a different version where they give a lot more details, but this is more than enough for us to understand how to write a letter to get band 7 and above. So this is our first thing. We are marked for 4 factors. Like you already know, we're marked for task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammar range, and accuracy. So what is the meaning of task achievement? So when you're writing a letter always contains a background information, the question, and they give you a bullet point. So they tell you, write a letter to so and so for this reason, and in this letter, and they give you 3 bullet points about describe about this, elaborate about this, and speak about this, or write about this. So they give you 3 bullet points. So if you cover all of those requirements, or if your essay covers all those requirements, then you're meeting your task achievement. Your task achievement is met. So you should provide a clear purpose. What is the purpose of the letter? And who are you writing to? And your tone has to be consistent throughout your letter. Suppose you're writing a letter as a customer who is angry, your tone throughout the letter should demonstrate anger. If you're writing a letter to apologize for your mistake, your tone has to be consistently apologetic throughout. And you should present all the 3 bullet points, so that's given, and you should elaborate on this bullet point, or you should give background information about that bullet point. So this is how you get your task achievement. Firstly, the purpose of the letter. So this will help you to determine if it's a formal, informal, semi-formal letter, and then you have to maintain the same tone, consistent tone throughout. Suppose you're writing a letter to inform about your job. It's quite a casual one. You're giving information. So the tone of elaborating or giving information has to be maintained throughout. The second factor for your band to get to your band 7 is that you organize information and ideas, and there's clear progression throughout. First point is that. That means when you're writing your letter, each paragraph will revolve around one idea. So one bullet point will be one paragraph. Suppose you're writing a letter telling your friend that you've forgotten your wallet at his house, and you want him to email it or mail it back to you, sorry. Maybe the first bullet point will thank you friend for the stay. The second bullet point will tell him how to find the wallet. And the third bullet point will tell how to mail it or suggest further alternatives, or how you want it to be sent to you, or you will go and collect it or something like that. So the first bullet point is thanking your friend. So your one paragraph is dedicated only for thanking your friend. So you can tell words like, thank you for such a wonderful stay. I enjoyed your hospitality and the warmth of your hosting. I enjoyed the food and all that. The second paragraph is telling where to find your wallet. So you say, unfortunately, I left my wallet behind. You can find it at this place. Maybe you say the second shelf on in the wardrobe or somewhere there. And third point is how you want it. So you would say, don't worry about it, I'll come next week, or I'm coming down to this place next week, I'll meet you there and collect my wallet, or something similar. So you're logically organizing your information. So if you're not logically organizing it, how will you write? You might first end up telling, you know what, I forgot my wallet at your place. And then you might also tell, but thank you very much for everything. This was a very unfortunate event. And then you might, muck up everything, you mix up everything. So there should be a logical progression, or each idea should be maintained in each paragraph. Lovepreet, are you clear with what I'm telling?
Yes, okay, all good.
Okay. And then the second important bullet point, or a second important criteria for you to get your coherence and cohesion, is use linking words or linking devices or cohesive devices, they are called. So words like unfortunately, similarly, as a result of, so to elaborate, and all those are linking words. Do you have those cohesive devices?
You mean the words?
Yeah, the words, the list of words.
No, I don't have them.
Okay, so give me a minute. I'll try to see where I have it. I think I have sent it. Maybe you were not there in class then. I'll try to find out where it is.
Is that speaking and linking words?
No, no, it's not the speaking one. So this is for writing. So when you're writing, you could use words like this. When you're making a request, you could use, please, can you send my wallet? I'd be really grateful if you could make these adjustments. I was wondering if you could, would you mind doing this? Then when you're apologizing, you're telling, I'm very sorry about, I like to apologize for, I'm really sorry
Okay.
about.
Okay, cool.
Then do you have this?
No, I don't have this one.
Do
I
you
do
want?
have for speaking, but not this.
Okay, I'll send it off to you.
Thank you very much.
So when you're using your tone, see, when you're writing a formal letter, this is how you use the greeting, dear sir or madam, and things like that. I'll send it off to you. Just give me, I'll explain that, and I'll send this off on chat for you. So I'll just complete this explanation of cohesive devices and I'll send it off to you. Or
Sure.
maybe I'll just send it, otherwise I'll forget later. Give me a minute. Okay. I have attached it on chat. I think you will receive it. Have you got it?
Yes, I do got it.
All right. So linking devices or cohesive devices has to be used. So every sentence has to be connected to the previous sentence. So you can overuse it because if you're looking at band 7, because you're looking at, they want you to use it. So even if it seems intentional, even if it seems purposeful, do it. So the third factor that we are looking at is called lexical resources, which is actually your vocabulary. So because vocabulary refers to maybe only one word, lexical resource in fact refers to a chunk of words. So I'll also give you a few steps to improve your vocabulary. So for you to get band 7 and up, what should you do? You should use a sufficient range of vocabulary, so specific task related vocabulary, and then you should use less common vocabulary. So I always tell the difference between sorry and apologize. So if you're telling, or maybe you say instead of um, I'm angry or I'm mad, you could always use words like I'm indignant, I am, um, I have a burning rage or something like that, just for you to use uncommon or less familiar vocabulary. So for someone to say, instead of telling this person is a very cunning person or scheming, you could use words like cunning, scheming. Instead of telling he holds a grudge, you could use words like he is vindictive or something like that. So you use vocabulary which is less common, or in other words, use synonyms which are not very, very common. Then the last factor that they're looking at is grammar range and accuracy. So here we have to make use of different types of sentences. So we have to use a combination of
So sorry,
yeah,
I'm
no problem,
interrupting you.
no problem.
For lexical resource, it's all about this vocabulary.
Yes, it's
That's
all
all.
about, yes, it's all about vocabulary, idioms,
Okay.
appropriate idioms, then collocations.
Okay.
So idioms, words, and collocations. These are the three things that's important for your lexicon.
Okay.
And the fourth factor is your grammar range and accuracy, where the first requirement is that you use a variety of complex structures, that you use both simple and complex sentences. And the second thing is that you produce error-free sentences. And then thirdly, you have a good control of grammar and punctuation, but you might make a few errors. So for your sentence structure, you should use a combination of simple sentences and complex sentences. So simple and complex sentences. Simple sentences, you know what are simple sentences? Simple sentences are which contain one subject and then a verb. But if it's a complex sentence, you'll have, so this subject and a verb, sometimes there is an object as well, or most of the time there's an object. Or maybe instead of talking like this, I'll just type it on the Word document so that you can clearly understand.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just type it in this Word itself.
So for 7 bands, we just use complex sentences.
Simple and complex sentences. So the type of sentences would be like this: simple and complex sentences. This is for your 7-band GRA. Use simple and complex sentences. So what are simple sentences? Simple sentences are an independent clause. So they are made of one independent clause. Simple sentences contain one independent clause. So what do I mean by independent clause? So that means it has one subject. This is the structure of the sentence. There is always a subject, then there is going to be a verb, and then there might or might not be an object. So what is, there's a subject, there's a verb, and an object. So what do I mean? So for example, if there is a sentence like the boy goes to school, or the boy went to school. So the subject here is the one who does the action. So who is the one who is doing the action? It's the boy. So this is our subject. What is the verb? Verb is the action. So here the action is went to. This is the action. And then lastly, we have the object. Object is upon whom the action is performed, or the one who is being affected by the option and by the action. So it is the school. Went to school. So this is simple sentence. It contains a subject, it will contain a verb, sometimes it will contain an object, sometimes it is not. So if you have a sentence like the boy laughed. So here you see there is a
Okay.
subject and there is a verb, but there is no
Yes.
object. So
Yep.
they're simple sentences. Yeah, you have a, is this clear?
Yes. Got it.
Now, complex sentences. Complex sentences contain one or might contain two or more independent clauses. So it might be a word like the boy went to school and connect linked by a conjunction mostly, or a linking device, linked by a conjunction or linked by a linking word. So you could have something like the boy went to school and he learned English. So if you look at it, the boy went to school is a complete sentence. It does not need the help of anything else. If you look at the next one, he learnt English. This is also a complete sentence. There is a subject, verb, and an object. There's a subject, verb, and an object. These two independent clauses are linked by a linking word. This is and. Can you see this?
Yep.
So this is a complex sentence. Am I being clear to you?
So in complex sentences, when we add a linking word,
Hmm.
then they become the complex sentences.
Yes,
That's what you. Okay.
two independent sentences or two simple sentences. If you add a linking word,
What do you mean by clauses? Independent clauses.
so clauses means hi Crystal. So the clauses are words which contain a subject, verb, and an object. This is a clause, or in fact, a simple sentence is a clause. A clause is the most simplest sentence in English.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
a clause and a simple sentence both are the same. Is this clear? Any
Yes.
doubts?
No.
So your job is to make your letter
Complex.
contain complex sentences and simple sentences. So far, are we clear?
Yes. Right.
There is a third type of a sentence called, there are other types which is called compound complex, simple compound and all that, or compound. But for us, we only require this. Just to avoid confusion, I'll just stop here.
Okay.
So we make sure that we contain this. While I'm telling this, I want you to pay attention to one more thing. So to improve your GRA, what you do is, see, we have two independent sentences. Like you're writing a sentence like this. The boy went to the market. The market was huge. The market was crowded. Suppose this is your essay, or these are two simple sentences, right? So
Yeah.
for you to improve your GRA, so don't confuse it. Don't link it to any sentences. So if there are two sentences like this, two simple sentences, boy went to the market was crowded. What you do is, to improve your GRA, you connect these two sentences. The boy went to the market. Instead of the full stop, you put a semicolon. Space, the market was crowded. So you're demonstrating a higher level of English, or you're demonstrating that you can compose a high level of, or you can compose a high level sentence. Is this clear?
Yes.
So, three things we learned today.
Can we use the linking word in this as well to make it
There is
complex?
no need of that. So you just use this. You use simple sentence, you use complex sentences, and then you try and use semicolon.
Okay. Okay.
So you, when you're reading through your essay or you're reading through your letter, और आपने देखा there are two simple sentences with a full stop in between, and then what you do is you immediately, instead of putting it like this, you remove the full stop and the capitalization and you just put a semicolon.
Okay. That's all you have to do.
That's all.
Okay.
Okay, so use this or do this when proofreading. All good?
Yes.
Okay. Now back to the letter. So we will have three kinds of sentences in, three kinds of letters in the English language: formal, semi formal, and informal letter. So, formal letter is if you don't know who you're writing to. It could be a job application where you do not know whom you're addressing to. You do not know them personally, you don't know their name, you're addressing to some unknown person. That's a formal letter. Suppose you're writing a letter to complain about a bad service. You don't know who you're writing to. That is a formal letter. What is a semi formal letter? A semi formal letter is you're writing to somebody that you know, but in a formal setting. So it could be a letter to a landlord, could be a letter to your manager, could be a letter to your friend, but in a professional setting. It could be that you're recommending your friend to another friend or something like that. So this is the difference between a formal and semi-formal letter. So how will you start a formal letter? What are the greetings? How will you address the person when you're writing a formal letter? You would say, "Dear Sir" or "Madam." And your name is always, sorry, okay, you'll sign off with your name. I mean, your first name and second name. There's no need to put this designation, no need to put this title as Mr., but you'll sign off with your full name. So, formal letter is when you're writing to a person that you have no clue who you're writing to, and you will start the letter by telling, "Dear Sir" or "Madam," and then you'll conclude it with your surname. Is this clear? Sorry, with your first and second name. Is this clear? With your full
Yes.
name. The second type of letter is a semi-formal letter where you're writing to somebody that you're aware of, that you know, that you have an acquaintance with, but in a formal setting. So it could be a letter to a manager, it could be a letter to a friend in a professional setting or something like that, or it could be requesting permission for something or something similar. So you'll begin your letter with your greetings, or your salutation could be "Dear Mr." and you put their surname. Okay, so whenever you put "Dear Mr," you always put their surname or full name.
Okay.
Suppose their name is William Smith, you would not say "Dear Mr. William." You would say "Dear Mr. Smith" or "Dear Mr. William Smith." It's wrong to say "Dear Mr." and first name. It's correct to say "Dear Mr." second name or "Dear Mr." first and second name. Clear?
It up because I need to.
So when you're signing off, you'll always put your full name. You'll put your first and second name.
Okay.
The third type of letter is an informal letter where the tone used is quite friendly. So you'll begin your letter with this: "Dear Mom," "Dear John," "Dear William," "My dear friend," "Dearest somebody." So you begin your letter in a very informal way because this is an informal letter. And then when you're signing off, your name, just your first name. There's no need of your surname. Clear?
Yes.
So avoid using contractions for formal and semi-formal letter.
So I have one question for the semi-formal. Do we have the name given in the question, or we have to write from ourselves?
So sometimes, so that's a good question. Sometimes the semi-formal, they'll ask you write a letter to Mr. So and so, or you can start your letter like this. So otherwise, you'll have to think of your own name.
Okay.
This name is your name, and this is if you know their name. Otherwise, you're making up their own name.
Okay.
Making up your own. Any doubt?
Okay. But when it's informal, then we don't have to write any name. We
No.
just okay.
No. When it's informal, you can write your. I didn't understand. When you say name, you're meaning your name or
Like when it's informal, do we have to write the name of the friend?
yeah.
Or like
You think about a name and you can write.
okay, we can write. Okay.
So give me a minute. Signing off for task one. Signing off is always yours sincerely.
It's always yours sincerely.
For
Nothing
the
else.
formal letter, yours sincerely.
Okay.
Always. Clear? Give me 1 minute. I just wanted to look at something. Okay. So formal letter, you always sign off with yours sincerely, or I'll just show you. I'll write it down. So formal letter greeting will be dear sir or ma'am or madam. This is your salutation, and you will sign off by yours sincerely. So if the letter is semi-formal, you will greet them by telling dear Mr. and you'll put their second name or surname, and you'll sign off. You can tell thanks and regards or thank you or something like that. Doesn't matter. This also is applicable. So if it's an informal letter, you will begin the letter by telling dear and first name, and you'll sign off warm regards, lots of love, take care, etc. Any doubts?
So that's all the difference between these three letter, or the
Nay,
body
no,
structure
the
should be different too.
yeah. So here the tone is very formal. Here also the tone is formal.
So semi-formal and formal is pretty much similar.
Yes. So here the tone is friendly and casual. These are the major differences. Clear?
Yep.
Crystal clear?
Yes.
No, I'm asking Crystal if it's clear. Crystal, are you clear with this? Okay, all good. Okay. So, okay. In none of these letters, there should be a contraction. I told you that. Do you understand what I mean? So, no contractions means in this, no contractions like telling I'm writing. So, this is a contraction, means a short form for I am. So, you can't say I'm writing. Instead, you would say I am writing. So, never. So, you can't say your house. Instead, you would, I'm sorry, your welcome, or you're always welcome, or something like that. You can't use contractions. Instead, you would use you are always welcome, or something similar. Is this clear?
Yeah, but for the informal we can.
Informal, you can use contractions.
Okay.
So none of the formal letters, be it formal or semi-formal, will contain contractions. So here you can use contractions. Any doubts?
No.
Okay, so we'll move on. Give me a minute. The time is 2:40. We should write a letter and we should do a bit of speaking. Okay. Now, when you start a letter, there should be a plan. Do you remember the grid that we did? Or vaguely remember? So, this is how you should make a grid, or you should make a plan when you're writing a letter. So, in the first column, or in the top left box, you'll write the purpose of the letter. What is the purpose of my letter? So, is it a formal letter? Is it a job application? Am I apologizing? Am I telling thank you? Am I inviting somebody? What is the purpose of my letter? So, when you understand the purpose of your letter, you will know, okay, this is a formal letter. Then, who am I writing to? So, you will, dear, is it dear sir or madam? Is it dear Mr. somebody? Or is it my dear friend Shad, or my dear mom, or somebody? Who is my audience? And then you'll understand what is the formality. How formal is it? If my audience is unknown to me, then the formality is what letter it is?
Informal.
If my audience is unknown to me, I have no idea
Oh,
who they
sorry,
are.
my bad. Formal.
Formal. So if I know the audience, but in a professional setting, it is a semi-formal letter.
Yeah.
So this will help me to determine what is my formality and what should be my tone. So if I'm writing a letter for a job application, throughout my tone should be apologetic, respectful. I'm sorry, not apologetic, respectful and professional. That should be my tone. So my salutation and signing off. So this is my first grid. Lovepreet, any doubt?
No.
Ah, no doubt at all.
No.
Okay. Now what I want you to do is, can you take a picture of this, please? Okay, now I want you to write only the first grid, or you just tell me, you make the first grid, and you tell me. I'll give you about 1 minute. I want you to just focus on this first grid. Your time starts now. Okay, give me a minute. All right, so this was your question. Just okay. This was your, sorry, not this. This was your question, right?
Yep.
Okay. Can you was this your question, or what's this your question?
No, the other one.
This one, is it?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So can you tell me, sorry. Oh my God, what's wrong with Okay. Can you tell me what's the purpose of this letter?
So I suggest him to visit Gold Coast for his holidays.
Okay, so you're suggesting Gold Coast as a destination or something like that, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then who is your audience?
My friend, his name is Sam.
So you're writing it to your friend Sam. So how will you start it? The form you'll sign and you'll start salutation will be, you'll greet him how?
Dear
Dear,
friend.
dear friend, or dear Sam. Okay.
Okay.
And then what is your tone throughout this letter? Your tone is going to be casual and friendly, not formal. And then how will you sign off this letter?
Uh, Take care, love
Take
it,
care.
sing.
Take care and Lovepreet Singh. Okay, so that's a job well done. Now I'm going to give you another. Okay, this one. Okay. Now can you do the same thing? Draw a grid, only the first block for this. I'll give you 1 minute, or you tell me when you finish. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. You're writing this to inform your friend that you moved to that you changed jobs. So
That's
your
okay.
so your
I don't
audience
have
is
to write the reason in the purpose because I have wrote like because I have changed my house, so it's too far for me to go there.
okay. So the reason why I'm telling you to do this is you're making a plan. This will help you a lot in your letter. So the first thing that you're thinking when you get the question is, okay, why I'm writing
Okay.
this letter? You ask yourself the question, why am I writing this letter? And you'll be like, okay, I'm writing this letter because I am telling my friend that I changed my job. So, who am I writing this letter? I'm writing this letter to Sam. So, what is the formality of this letter? It's a very informal letter because I'm writing to a friend. So, how will I start off
Yes.
with a salutation? What will be my salutation? My salutation will be Dear Sam or Dear someone. And how will I sign off? Maybe I will put in lots of love or I'll put in take care. Okay, so you're making your first plan. This is your draft. Is this clear?
Yep. So audience is Sam too.
Yes,
That's my
audience
friend.
is whom you're writing. It is Sam.
Okay.
Okay, any doubt?
No.
So this will help you to start off, at a good note. Okay, my beginning is like this, my ending is like this. I'm writing to this person. This is why I am writing, and this is how my tone will be. Okay.
Okay. Right.
Suppose we have a letter like this. Okay, this time, if we read through this letter, you have seen an advertisement for part-time work in a small hotel for 3 months over the summer. Write a letter to the manager. In your letter, say what experience you have, ask what work involves, and inquire about accommodation. Imagine you have seen this letter. Now you look at your first grid. The first question is purpose. Why am I writing this letter? I'm writing this letter to apply for a job. So, who is
Yes.
my audience? My audience is somebody I do not know. Then, how should I start, or what will be my greeting or salutation? Dear sir or madam.
Madam.
So, what is the formality of this letter? How formal is
Oh.
this? It is a very formal letter. And
Yep.
so, my salutation or my signing off will be yours sincerely.
Sincerely.
Okay, so you ask yourself these questions. So you have a very vague skeleton ready. You have
Yes.
some kind of a plan for you to start with. Okay, the second step to your planning is this second grid. Here, you make a plan for your bullet point one. What is my bullet point one, and what is the background info? So when I say background info, it needs you to make some story up by yourself. So suppose this was the one that we um, did before. So look at the first bullet point. What does it say? Request advice about a gift for his or her family. So bullet point one is requesting advice about a gift for her or his or her family. So you're telling, you think of a background information in order to thank you for your hospitality or friends that you have met. So you would say, while coming there, I would like to bring a gift, or I would love to bring a gift for your family. So I need your help to help me choose, or I request your help. I need your help to help me choose, or for me to choose what would be the appropriate gift to your family. And then you make a background thing. So you would say, in my list Or I think maybe you think of Manuka honey because you're going from Australia. So you would say, um, as you know, Australia has very pure Manuka honey, or Manuka honey is an exclusive product of Australia. So I was thinking of getting some of these. Or we also have, you know, very good cheeses or different cheddars and Gouda and all those kinds of cheese. And I think an assortment of cheese would be a good gift. Um, or you could think of something like that and you ask your friend, do you think, you would say maybe his wife's name is Betty. And you would say, do you think Betty would like the honey or the cheese? So you're asking an advice about a gift, or would she prefer something other than the food? So you're asking her, you're putting a background info. So you imagine, okay, his wife's name is Betty. They have two adult children, and you want to maybe take some majdool dates, or you want to take some manuka honey, or you want to get some assorted cheese. You think of where you're going from and what you think would be an appropriate gift, and you're asking her advice. I am quite puzzled here, mate. So could you advise me as to what they would like among these? Making sense to you?
Yeah, right.
Any doubts?
No.
So you conjure up your own tale because there is nothing given here to you other than you're just going to meet your friend and you're asking an advice for a gift. So you making up their own story. So you're thinking, okay, this guy has a wife and they have two grown children, or maybe just him and his wife, and what you want to take. Maybe Manuka honey, maybe you want to take this, maybe you want to take that, or maybe you think of something else. Maybe you think of, you won't, don't think of things like, clothes and shoes and all that because it's a headache to write about those. So you think of something um, general,
So,
something.
so I
Yeah.
have one question. Even in the informal letter, we still have to use good vocabulary.
Yes.
So
So you have to,
vocabulary
yes.
should still be the same.
Yes. So your vocabulary has to be of high level, but your tone is very informal. So you
Okay.
can always use words like mate and all that, but you have to see that your vocabulary is properly used.
Okay.
Then if you look at the third or the bottom left corner, it is bullet point 2. What is your bullet point 2 you're talking about? Or your bottom left corner is bullet point 2 and your background info. Bullet point 2 is ask about activities and clothing in her or his country. So you say bullet point 2, uh, further to add to it, or I was wondering, or I was wondering about the activities I could do, or about the things I could do when I visit whatever is his country. Maybe you think his name, he lives in Barcelona, Spain. So you would say, I was wondering what are the activities that I can take part in when I come to Barcelona, and also for me to pack appropriate clothing. I was wondering if the dress of the attire, that if casual attire is okay, or should I pack something more formal, and ask about the weather so that you can pack appropriate clothing and you tell, I do not want to look out of place. So that's why, can you give me some advice, or will you please advise me on the clothes that I should pack? Do you think casual wear is fine? Because as you know, Australia is quite casual in its dressing. I wanted to know if Spain is the same, if Barcelona follows the same culture, or should I pack more of formal clothes? And I was also wondering about the weather so that I can pack appropriate clothing. So you could use words like attire, wear, clothing, shirts, shorts, and things like that. So you compare between your country and his country. And the last bullet point is finding out about the food. So you give a background information like, as you know, I'm a huge gourmet, or I love food. I'm a huge gourmet. I was wondering what kind of food I can try in Spain. And then also you could say, I'm following this new keto diet where I eat a lot of meat, So I was wondering if you could give me some recommendations to or some food to try out and all that. So you're covering all your bullet points in that four boxed grid.
Okay.
Is it making sense to you?
Yes, right.
Okay. So that's how
I'm
you,
just
yeah.
wondering how you can think of too many ideas straight away. The only problem with me, I can't think of ideas straight away.
Maybe you're a very honest person.
Is it? I don't know why. I can't think any ideas. Like if something happened with me, I can do it, but I can't make it up from my own.
Okay. So that's how you think of it. So if you look at this, this is the letter that we are going to write today. Not this. Okay, this is the letter that we're going to write today. Can you take a picture of this? Okay. So
It's
you,
read from all.
okay,
So
that's okay. So you will be spending about 3 minutes at least for your planning, or maybe you spend 4 minutes. Out of the 20 minutes that you get, you spend about 3 to 4 minutes for your planning, and you spend the rest of your time. So spend about maybe 2 to 3 minutes for your planning. Okay. Now, can you make this grid up and take a picture and put it in the chat? I'll give you maybe 3 minutes, an extra minute if you have not finished, but I want you to read through this and make a grid by yourself. Half your work is done if you make that plan. Can you try?
yep, sure.
Okay. Crystal, I know you're working, but if you can, you try too, okay? Okay, so I'll time you up for 3 minutes. If you have not finished, I'll give you 1 more minute. Your time starts now. Will you please put your screen, share your screen, or you can put your picture on the chat.
Can I just speak because I just write very. You can't really read it from there.
Okay, so can you tell me what your first grid contains of?
So the letter is to apologize to my friend to not be able to attend the holidays with him,
Okay,
and the audience is Rahul. His name is Rahul,
okay,
and my salutation is Dear Rahul, and it is tone is very informal and friendly.
okay,
And signing off with best regards, Lopit Singh.
okay,
And bullet point one is like, I was so excited to meet you after a long time. We haven't met since we finished high school.
let me see the question. So you're recommending a good place for holiday. No, your thing is how much you were looking forward to the holiday. Okay, so you're telling that since you have not met him for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, since high school. Okay,
And the second bullet point, due to current COVID crisis in my country, all the international borders are closed, so I can't really travel anywhere.
okay, and your bullet point three.
Bullet point three is like, I believe you like the border gonna be open again till the end of this year, and we're gonna have Christmas holidays and we can get together during that time.
Okay. All right. So first bullet point was apologizing. I mean, sorry, you're apologizing that you can't visit him or you can't spend holidays with him, and then you're telling that you were excited to meet him because it has been a long time since you met him, and then you tell that the borders are going to be opened end of this year, and you are happy to meet him again end of this
Yeah.
year. Okay. Now, can you write a first paragraph with that? So,
You mean first bullet point?
yes, so
Just
can you write the introduction like, Dear Rahul? So, can you just write the first part or the introduction? So when you're writing to a friend, you can always ask, make small talk, like how are you and your family? How is this person doing? Or how are you and your family doing? So you always make a background information too. Hi Anmol.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see my Word document?
Yes.
So you're giving your introduction, right?
Yep.
Okay. Can you tell me?
So, dear Rahul,
Dear Rahul.
so paragraphs begin.
Okay.
I hope you are doing very well.
Okay.
Full stop.
Okay.
Uh, it's been a long time since we last talked.
Since we last spoke.
Spoke.
So that talked will become spoke. Okay. Then.
Could you tell me how's your father's health now?
Okay. So you're asking how is your father's health now? Okay.
Well, I'm writing this letter to apologize
I am uh, writing this letter to apologize.
that I won't be able to participate
So you said that I won't be able to participate
in in vocational holidays with you.
the vacation. Is this your introduction?
And I wrote one more sentence, but I don't think it makes sense.
Okay, go on.
I know you have been waiting for this for long, and we both were so excited for our trip to Bali.
Is this correct?
Yep.
Okay, so let's check this. Dear Rahul, I hope you're doing very well. This is okay. No problem with this. It has been a long time since we last spoke. How is your father's health now? So far, so good. I'm writing this letter to apologize. So you should give a reason. So you would say apologize, and then you would say because I won't be able to spend holidays with you as planned or as we planned. Okay,
Yeah.
then you would say I understand or I realize that we both have been waiting for this for so long or for a long time, and I was excited to go to or to visit Bali with you. So you just reword it. Okay, so you just put it like this. So you say, I realize we both have been waiting for this for a long time, and I was excited to visit Bali with you. Unfortunately, then you give a reason. So unfortunately, you put a linking word, unfortunately, or you can put unluckily or something like that. Unfortunately, our trip to Bali has to wait because of COVID restrictions in the borders, in the international borders.
Should I add this in the next paragraph?
No, no, this is right here because you're already telling him that you're apologizing, right?
Yeah.
So, and you're telling, unfortunately, our trip has to wait because of COVID restrictions. So you're
So
ending
we're
all your
covering
apologies.
first bullet point as well with this, is it?
No.
Oh,
So let me show you. So what is our first bullet point? Give me a minute. So you were tell how much you were looking forward. Yes, that's your first bullet point. Okay. Give me a minute then. So in your introduction, okay, you're telling I'm writing this letter to apologize because I won't be able to spend holidays with you as we planned. Okay, this will be your next bullet point. I
okay.
realized that we both have been planning for this for a long time, and I was excited to visit Bali with you. Unfortunately, our trip to Bali has to wait because of COVID restrictions in the international border. I'll just show you my letter. I wrote this during my lunch just now, just before class. So I'll just show you what I did. It's similar to what you did, so that you'll get an idea. If you read, so that's the key. Always read other letters too, so that you'll get an idea about many things. So
Okay.
keep your eye only on the introduction form. Maybe I'll just copy it and I'll put it on the word. So this is mine introduction. Can you see my screen? No.
No.
So this was what I did. Dear Sam, I hope you're well. How are the kids and Justina faring? It was just thrilling to even think of our weekend trip to the Gold Coast. The very thought of walking along the golden beaches and enjoying the sunset got me so excited. So, this is my introduction. Okay, I'll just show
Yeah.
you my body para 1 as well. So, my body para 1 was unfortunately, so I put a linking word. So, I said, unfortunately, our holiday to, I put an adjective, to the exotic Gold Coast requires rescheduling to a later date. As you might be aware, the borders are closed to ensure safety during this terrible time of the pandemic. Though it is a matter of great disappointment, we can take consolation in knowing that it is for the greater good. So I know it sounds a bit wordy, but something similar. Unfortunately, our holidays to the exotic Gold Coast requires rescheduling. So you could write something like this. Unfortunately, our trip to, what do you think about Bali? To the warm, sunny Bali, warm, comma, sunny Bali has to wait because of the strict, you put in the adjectives, COVID restrictions in the international border. And then you can say, though it is very disappointing, although it is a very disappointing matter, it is all for safety, or it is all for our good, or it's all for our, it's all to keep us alive. So you can write something like this. Am I making sense to you?
Yes,
So
yes,
this is
definitely.
your bullet point 1, and this is
Okay.
my bullet. It's something similar. Now I want you to try and attempt bullet point 2. Or do you want me to show it and we go on to speaking, because we have only about half an hour left? Maybe you write your second bullet point 2 and then we'll see how to go about it. Can you
You mean
write
the
it by, yeah,
you
can
mean the
you write?
bullet point 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you try it?
Yep.
I'll give you 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can you show me the bullet point 3, the question again?
Yes, I can. I will. So this was your second one. Explain why you must change your plan. This is done already. Then suggest alternative arrangement. So I'll time you for 5 minutes. Even if you have not completed, it's okay. I'll just with whatever you've done, and then I can show you what I've done. We can go on to speak. So your time starts now. Okay. Have you done it?
Yes.
Good. Well done. So just turn off your timer. Okay. Can you let me share? Do you want to read it out?
Yes,
Or
please.
okay.
If it's fine.
Okay. So all right. So go on.
So I know you will be very disappointed after reading my letter.
I know you will be very disappointed after reading my letter.
That's why I have thought of alternative plan, which I believe you would appreciate.
That is why I have thought of an alternative plan which I know you will appreciate. Okay. Okay.
Yep, full stop.
Hmm.
As per latest news,
As per the, you should put an article. So I'll just correct it after. Okay. Latest news.
it was informed that borders will reopen by the end of this year for everyone.
Will be informed. Sorry. Will be by the end of this year for everyone.
And I would like to pursue our trip to Bali
Like to
during Christmas holidays.
Is this all?
And in the next paragraph, I can write, I'm looking forward to hear your decision.
Looking forward to hearing your decision. You said take care, right? In the beginning.
Yep, take care.
Okay, so let's look at it. So I know you will be very, you would put the word disappointed. So disappointed after reading my letter. That's why I have thought of an alternative plan. So you see, alternative is already given to you in the question. So you avoid you repeating the vocabulary in the question. So thought of an
Okay.
alternative plan. So you could write of a,
Plan B.
yes, of a plan B. So you can write something like this, of a plan B, of a different plan or something similar, which I know you will appreciate. So you could write, which I know you will appreciate. This is perfect. As per, you put in an article here. The latest news, it was informed that the borders will be open by the end of this year for everyone. So you'll put a comma here, borders will be open by the end of this year for everyone. And I would love, so you instead of like, you can put the word love because you're really excited. I would love to pursue our trip to Bali during Christmas. So you could, I'd love to pursue a trip to Bali during the Christmas holidays. You put an article again there. Christmas holidays. So that's okay. This is well done. But I'll just show you mine as well,
Okay.
just to get an idea. Okay. So you'd use something like this. So you would say, after giving it a lot of thought, so this is my linking word. So what was your linking word? I know you'll be very disappointed. So you used a phrase. So I used a linking phrase like this. After giving a lot of thought, I've come upon another plan for our weekend trip. The Hunter Valley in NSW is a beautiful place. It hosts hot air balloon rides we have been longing to try for a long time now. The scenic location also has hubs where we can experience skydiving and other thrilling sports. I hope you will find this plan feasible and even fun. What's more, we can visit Gold Coast once the borders are open. Warm regards, Ruth. So so if you look at it, how many words is this? This is about 183 words, which is good. So you could use more of what does this need, what more your letter needs. You need to use a little more adjectives like scenic spot. So use a little more of adjectives. Then different vocabulary, sentence formation, don't worry. Focus on punctuations. I know I didn't see you right, but I'm just giving you a heads up. Punctuations are important, commas, semicolons, full stop, where and how to put them. Adjectives, different vocabulary from the question, punctuation, and articles. So these things, okay, and linking words. So these are the things that you should work on. So since you're going,
What's the other word we can use for disappointed?
so disappointed, disappointment. I know you will be very disappointed. I know you will be, or you will feel very let down. So
Yeah. Because
disappointed.
we have used disappointing in paragraph 2. Do you think we can still use in paragraph?
No, you use different ones. So disappointed or disappointing can be feeling let down.
Yep.
So this will, okay.
So I can write, I know I let you down.
No, you didn't let him down. So I know you will be feeling very let down, or I know you're feeling glum, or I know it is glum news. Glum news. It's a gloomy news.
Okay.
Sorry. You could use any of these. Okay. So, how to improve your vocabulary? I'll just give you a step by step approach.
Sure. Thank you.
It's a bit difficult. I mean, not difficult. It's a bit of a roundabout, but it'll help you if you just follow it. Improving vocabulary. Vocabulary. Not this.
The one you sent earlier, is that vocabulary or the linking words as well?
It's only for linking words.
Oh, okay, because the heading says IELTS letter writing vocabulary.
Yeah, it's letter writing vocabulary. This is how to improve your vocabulary for writing, not other than a letter. So, first
Yes.
thing is to make yourself familiar with the common topics of the IELTS writing tasks. What are the most
Okay.
common things in task 2, maybe? They'll ask you about environment, health and sports, government, society, education. All these are your most commonly occurring topics. So, throughout the years, we see that all of our task 2 will have either of these topics. They won't go out of this list. It's always going to be something inside these 11 topics. So, first thing is start reading articles about these topics. Okay, today you're going to, are you a member of Quora?
No.
So pick up any article that you like and a small article, maybe from some academic journal or Quora or somewhere. You start reading about it. Okay, something about environment, something about global warming, something about it, so that you are in your head you're learning phrases, collocations, idioms that are used with these topics. These are the three things that is important for you. So other than just words, you use phrases. For example, you use the word feeling let down. That's a phrase that you use instead of disappointed. So for example, this word health, if you read an article about health, you would be coming across terms like losing weight, gaining weight, diet, balancing health and work, exercising, workout. All these are the phrases that you'll come across if you're reading an article about health. Then you make sure that you're okay with the collocations. So collocations are very natural expressions. So if I give you the word like increase, I won't just say increase. I would say significant increase, considerable increase, a rapid rise, a rapid fall. So those are natural expressions that native speakers and writers use all the time. So you go come across these collocations. So there are dictionaries just for collocations. So one of it is called OSDIC. There's another one. So for you collocation, you can always use this one. It's called OSDIC. This is good for your collocation. It's a very good collocation dictionary. There's another one called Sparks. I think it's Sparks. So this is also a good collocation dictionary. So what is collocation? So if you get a word like job, securing a job, keeping a job, getting promoted in a job, all these are verb and noun collocations. So same topic, what are the other collocations? Blue colored jobs, white colored jobs. So what are the other type of adjective noun collocations? Or don't worry about this heading, just look at the type of collocations. Part-time jobs, then temporary jobs, contract-based jobs, full-time jobs, all these are other collocations used along with this jobs. Now, After you find out these collocations, you try and put these into the sentence. Okay, applying. So for a job, you won't say I am seeking a job. You'd say I'm applying for a job. Response to an advertisement, writing in response to an advertisement, job application, resume, experience, work experience. So all those are your job related vocabulary. Then you see what are the word families for this. So for example, what are the different types or different forms of these words? So employed, if this is your word, you would know that employer is another form of this word. Employment is another form. Employee is another form of this word. Then think about how to add prefix and suffix to it. If you add the prefix un, this word becomes unemployment. If you add the prefix un to this employed, this becomes unemployed. So add prefix and suffix. What are the other suffixes? So these are prefix. Pre means before, fix. So this words are fixed before, prefix. And suffix are fixes that is after. So jobless, joblessness. Then
Okay.
you'll think of synonyms for that. For this, you need a thesaurus or a dictionary. What are the synonyms for jobs? Employment, work, then what else? Post, profession, career, position. All these are your synonyms. Then you replace a word with its synonyms while writing. Then keep a file or a Word document for this. Whenever you're learning this new language or new words, keep a file. So focus on these are the steps that we just discussed. Focus on the most common topics for your writing, either your letter and task. Learn phrases more than words, not just words but phrases. Learn collocations or idioms, and then learn the word families for the forms of words. So suffix and prefix. So this is a way to improve your vocabulary. So first thing is you identify these topics and start reading about it.
Or for the Quora, you have to become the member, or it's
For which one?
the you were talking about. Are you a member of Quora? Quora? What is that?
Quora. Oh,
Yeah.
it's not a membership. So this is a forum, just like Facebook. It's a public platform. I mean, a social media platform, but you'll have a lot of interesting articles to read. So it's mostly for reading. So Quora, um, articles, and so many interesting topics. Depends on your choice. So there are topics all around the world. So people are writing about experiences and things. So this is a good way as well. So look for academic topics. So there are people who write about personal experiences, about food, about clothes, everything under the sun. So look for academic topics, these kinds of topics, so that you will know you're not academic topics, so that you'll not be diverted. People even write about arranged marriages and mothers-in-law, fathers-in-law. There's topic all around the world, so you look for your kind of a topic to prepare for your test. Okay, so we have um, about 10 minutes left. So let's just do at least one part of speaking before you go today. Or are
Okay.
you tired? Is it okay with you?
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So let's do part one of speaking. I'll just give me a minute. I'll just pull out the questions. I'm using the word just. Third stopping. Was this lesson helpful for you, Lovepreet?
Yes,
Today's
definitely it
today's
was.
lesson.
Yes.
It was quite slow, but um, I hope it was helpful. I went slow because you took a break for some time, right? And you're after coming back after a break. Where is my stuff? Sorry about this. Found it. So I'll just ask you a few part one questions. So these are going to be small. You'll be expected to answer in a word or two. Okay. So
Okay.
this is part one of your speaking. These will be for about, you'll have about 5 to 8, depending on the amount of time that you'll take. This is for only 3 or 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and you'll be asked a question. Usually it's going to be something related to your personal life, and you'll have to answer it in a sentence or two. So avoid one word answer, avoid words from the question itself. Ready?
Yeah.
So let's talk about study. Lovepreet, what are you studying?
At the moment, I'm studying advanced diploma of business. I just began my diploma like 2 months ago, and
Okay,
I'm about to finish at end of this year,
okay,
hopefully.
all right. So here, instead of the word studying, you can use words like I am pursuing an advanced diploma. So instead of the same word studying, you could say, I recently started a diploma qualification. I recently began, or 2 months ago, I started a diploma qualification in advanced technology. And if everything falls into place, or if everything goes according to plan, I will be completing it by the end of this year.
So if I'm not studying anything, so I just say I'm
No,
not.
you okay, you say at the
Can I?
moment, or you could say I graduated last year and I haven't been pursuing any qualification since then.
Okay, right.
Or after my graduation last year, I have not been pursuing any qualification since. I have been engaged or I've been very busy with work or something like that.
Okay.
Okay. So, Lovepreet, what is your major?
My major is accounting. I have finished my Bachelor of Accounting last year, and I'm planning to move to Canada, and hopefully I'm gonna continue studying master in accounting over there.
Okay. Why did you choose that subject?
Uh, well, since I was in like year 11, I opt I opt to do commerce subject, which includes accounting, and as like I get start liking it. That's the main reason I opt to do accounting here as well.
Okay, so you can use words like since I was a student in school, or since my school days, I have always been fascinated by numbers, or numbers have always fascinated me. The balancing of budgets, the tallying has always held a special place in my heart. So you could use words like that. So I made up my mind even while I was in school that I'm going to work with numbers, or I'm going to pursue studies with numbers, and that's why I took up accounting or something like that.
Okay.
Are you making notes?
Yes.
So fascinated by numbers, numbers are very close to my heart, or something similar. Okay. So your next question: what is what do you dislike about your study?
So confusing. I don't like. I like everything about my study actually.
So you could say something like this. Um,
Well, yeah, it's hard to say anything like I dislike about my study. If I don't like anything about my study, I will never choose this subject. Uh, I will say
Or
sometimes it's very like hard to understand some points.
yeah. Or you could also use something like this. Though I enjoyed most of the subjects, there was one subject which was very difficult for me, and I did not enjoy studying it at all.
Okay.
So you could say, though I enjoyed studying most of the subjects, there was one subject, maybe something that you don't like, which was not very interesting to me, and I did not enjoy to study that.
Okay.
Okay, I think, Lapre, that's the end of our lesson today. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All good. I will see you tomorrow. Definitely.
Okay, all right then. Have
Right. Take
a
care. Thanks very much for the class.
thank you. Have a good
Bye.
day.
Take care.
Bye.